The New York Giants have been given a gift, and they keep finding ways to mess it up. We're going to talk about that on today's show. But first, if you are ready to see the New York Giants turn it around, get back on track, and start winning games on Sundays again, hit that thumbs up icon right now. Welcome into New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for rolling in as we react to the news of the day, which is Dexter Lawrence has been voted by ESPN executives, coaches, and scouts around the National Football League as the best defensive tackle in the NFL. And that's great news, and we've only been saying it on this channel now going on 3 years. What he does on a down-in and down-out basis is just different from every single nose tackle in the NFL. He gets classified as a defensive tackle, and he might still be the best defensive tackle. That's what everyone is saying. But he is a true nose tackle, and the difference between him and the next guy is massive. What do I mean, though, when it comes to the Giants have been given a gift and they keep on messing it up? Well, they have the best defensive player in football, in my opinion. I think you can make the argument that Dexter Lawrence is the best non-quarterback in the NFL. And when you have that special of a player on your roster and you go 3-14 and you win 9 games in the last 2 years and you are consistently picking inside the top 10, you are wasting the prime years of a guy that is going to be in the Hall of Fame. That's the type of player that Dexter Lawrence is. You have to capitalize on his prime. He is a once-in-a-generation type of player. And the Giants have one playoff win to show for it. So I'm hyped up that Lawrence is the best in the league. We've only told you for 3 years. But it's time for the Giants to hold up their end of the bargain, which is we're going to build a team around you, and we are going to take advantage and maximize your talents and turn it into W's. Look at this. Nose tackle pressures in the last 3 seasons. Third, Jordan Davis at 22. Vita Vea, second at 23. And Dexter Lawrence in first place at 103. You could add both of these numbers together. 23 plus 22, 45. Times it by 2. And you still are lower than the amount of pressures that Dexter Lawrence has created over the last 3 seasons. When you talk about nose tackles, there is no bigger gap between the best nose tackle in the NFL, Dexter Lawrence, and the second best nose tackle compared to any other position. Like, you want to put Patrick Mahomes first at quarterback, 100% cool with that. But Josh Allen has to be too, and the gap isn't that large. No gap between the first and second best player at any position is larger than what it is for Dexter Lawrence being the best nose tackle in the NFL compared to the second best nose tackle in the NFL. Like, we've all seen the stats. We've all seen the highlights. He is a special, special player. And the fact that he is a Giant, we are lucky. I would not be shocked if we look up one day and we see number 97 in the Ring of Honor. And he is the last person to wear number 97. But for that to happen, the Giants have to start winning games. They have to make the career of Dexter Lawrence memorable. It can't just be about 70 pressures in 2022 as a nose tackle, or 65 pressures the following year, or 9 sacks as a nose tackle last year in 12 games, maybe being the most dominant player in the NFL. All that doesn't matter if you don't start winning games. And look, we've heard Dexter Lawrence over the last year start to be a little bit more vocal about being frustrated and growing tired of the losing. And the trade rumors are heating up. Look, Dexter Lawrence is supposed to be one of those guys that when he retires and his number is in the Ring of Honor, he tells all of us, once a Giant, always a Giant, and only a Giant. That's the type of player he is supposed to be. But no matter how vocally he is committed to the Giants, losing changes how a person feels. He's a competitor. You don't get to the spots that he's at. You don't get to be as good as your craft as Dexter Lawrence is if you aren't one competitive SOB, which he is. And people like that, they hate losing. They hate losing more than they like winning. And losing can change how people feel. It can change the way Dexter Lawrence views his future as once a Giant, only a Giant, and always a Giant. There's only so many losses that elite competitors can take. And I think we are unfortunately getting close to his quota of losses he wants to have as a New York Giant. Like, Sexy Dexy forcing his way out cannot happen. And it's not his fault. Like, I'm not going to be mad at him if the Giants win 3 games this year and he forced a trade in the offseason. Look, do what you got to do, man. You've got a limited time in your life to be an elite football player, the best in the league. Go win some games. He probably wants to win a championship. And while the Giants are still ways away from that, I do think they are on the right track to winning football games. But it's time for them to hold up the bargain. Because I promise you, we don't want to be talking about Dexter Lawrence trade destinations because he has forced a trade and requested a trade. And you're only so many more losing seasons away from that. Make sure he feels the love, though, from all the real ones. Hit the Sexy Dexy dance every once in a while. Type those 97s down in the comment section. He's a special player. He's a better person. And he is the perfect person on the defensive side of the football to be the face of this organization. Show him some love. Type those 97s down below. Here was the full top 10 list from that ESPN article when it came to top DTs. Look, you can classify Dexter Lawrence as a defensive tackle, but no other player in the NFL does what he does when it comes to just lining up as in the A-gap. For instance, Chris Jones, the second-rated defensive tackle, he lined up in the A-gap 3 times this year, 5 times last year, 3 times the year before that, and 2 times the year before that. And when you talk about how often Dexter Lawrence lines up in the A-gap, it's just a little bit different. 332 snaps last year, 502 snaps the year before that, and 660 snaps the year before that. Oh, and he plays defensive tackle, and he does it just as good, if not better, than anybody on this list. Special players on this list, but I'll take Sexy Dexy every single time over one of them. I want to get to what ESPN had to say about Lawrence, as well as an NFL personnel director about how much he's grown as a player, and a couple more thoughts. But get your Giants Nike shirt today. This shirt, 50% off. It was $40. Now it's $20. Chatsports.com/Giants sale. That is chatsports.com/Giants sale. It's an awesome t-shirt. And when you can get good gear for 50% off, you got to take advantage of the deal. It will not last forever. That link is clickable down in the comments and description. Who would have thought when we all got the Adam Schefter tweet that the New York Giants were trading Odell Beckham Jr. to the Cleveland Browns for a pick in the first round, number 17 overall, it was going to end up being Dexter Lawrence. And that without a doubt, Dexter Lawrence is by far and away the best player in this deal. And I love Odell Beckham Jr., maybe my favorite Giants player ever, outside of Eli Manning, of course. But Dexter Lawrence is special, and he is the reason that you won this trade time and time and time again. Look at how far we've come. Proud of us. Jeremy Fowler said this: Lawrence's game reached a new stratosphere in 2024 when he expanded his arsenal and added a 9-sack season to an already stellar resume. Dominating the run was already on the agenda for Lawrence. He has the balance, power, flexibility, footwork, and acumen to post big sack numbers. In the past, the knock on Lawrence was that he missed too many near sacks. No longer. Lawrence racked up quarterback takedowns while facing a 74.5% double team rate, higher than any other interior lineman. The Giants saw him improve his ability to transition off blocks, be great on the move, and finish takedowns. 3 out of every 4 snaps that this guy faces, he gets double teamed. And you see it. He went from 70 pressures and 7.5 sacks to 65 and 4.5 sacks. But this year, there were a lot more sacks than pressures. 9 sacks in 12 games for Dexter Lawrence last year. And he did that while banged up. And if he would have played a full 17-game season, he would have had 13 sacks. That's how special he is. And it's only going to get even scarier and scarier for Lawrence. An NFL personnel director said this about him: I thought he should have been Defensive Player of the Year with the season he had. 12 games. He's a true zero-technique nose who can occupy doubles and neutralize the run game. I think he took his pass rush game to a different level. And I think he would have had double-digit sacks if Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau stayed healthy. A true 3-down game wrecker who needs attention every single snap. The fact that he has played 1,800 snaps as a nose guard in his NFL career, and he has the type of production as a pass rusher as he does, is unreal. And we've heard it time and time again from Joe Shane, from Shane Bowen, Brian Dable. We got to find a way to get 4 hands off of Dexter Lawrence. Well, when you add Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau, and you throw in Abdul Carter, and you have Chauncey Golston, and you bring in Darius Alexander, you are doubling down on what your strength is. You're trying to turn your strength into an unstoppable force, and that's what the Giants' pass rush has to be. If the Giants want to win games next year, it's going to be because of those 5 guys on the screen. Dexter Lawrence needs to be the best player every time he steps on the field. He already does that almost every single game. I'm extremely high on what Brian Burns is going to do this year. He has turned into an underrated player. He's going to wake everybody up. I think Kayvon Thibodeau had his best year in the NFL, despite the sack numbers not being as high. I am very bullish on what Abdul Carter can be his rookie year. Chauncey Golston is going to catch some people off guard. Darius Alexander as a rookie is going to be good. Like, you added to the outside rushers, but you also add to the defensive tackle room as well. I think Roy Robertson-Harris is a NFL-level defensive tackle, as is Jeremiah Ledbetter. And I don't think the Giants can say they've had that for the last couple of years. Darius Alexander is going to wake some people up this year. I know he's 25 years old, and he's a rookie, and he was a third-round pick, but he's going to get a lot of one-on-one pass blocking situation reps because Dexter Lawrence is going to get double-teamed and triple-teamed, even though I don't know if you'll be able to do that anymore with Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Brian Burns flanking him. To wrap this video up, thank you, Dexter Lawrence. You're a special player. You're the best in the league at your position, but it's on Joe Shane, it's on Brian Dable to hold up their end of the bargain. They got to start winning games, stop losing games, and give you a reason to want to be a Giant outside of the money. So fix the problem. Build a contender around maybe the best non-quarterback in the NFL.